Clash of Culture. We continue our 2023 college football preview. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Clemson Tigers versus the North Carolina Tar Heels. This is a rematch of the ACC championship game last year. But before we get into football, like always, we want to thank you guys for the love and support you've shown us so far. We are edging close to 1,000 subscribers. And remember, at 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing that Heisman jersey giveaway, just like we did at 250 subscribers. Also, the college football pick'em. If you have not signed up yet, please sign up today. It is free, and the winner will get a jersey of his choice. Also, that's going to be something that we talk about a lot. We're going to have some fun with it. You're going to hear us talk about standings on the show. So join in with that. That should be very fun. But with that being said, Steven, what's your thoughts on Clemson, North Carolina?
Alrighty, so this game, obviously, those of you guys who watched the ACC title game last year was a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout this year. Drake May did not put his best foot forward in that game. 268 yards, 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns. I'm not sure if he ran. I'm not sure who scored their only touchdown in that game. I don't know if he ran it in, so I'm not going to say no touchdowns. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he didn't throw a touchdown. This was Cade Klubnik's best game by far. He threw for 280 yards and a touchdown, only 4 incompletions in that entire game. He also ran a touchdown in. So I think last year's game doesn't really put an accurate picture on how the game this year is going to be. Obviously, it's a home game for Clemson, but I expect Drake May to play significantly better this year. I couldn't find a line, like the betting line or the odds right now. I'm not sure if you know off the top of your head, but I couldn't find one. But if I had to kind of give an odds by myself, I would say Clemson's probably like a touchdown favorite or so. I would say that's about fair. I'll give my final prediction at the end of the video. I obviously am going to roll with Clemson in this game. I think Clemson's defense is going to be one of the best defenses in college football this year. I think we have the best linebacking core in college football with the veteran defensive back corps, I guess you'd say. We obviously lost a little bit on the defensive line, but Clemson has shown that they can kind of retool defensive lines and just shuffle people in. So I don't expect that to be an issue. Obviously, the biggest question mark for Clemson is going to be the offense. And if Garrett Riley kind of righted that portion of the ship and kind of changed the culture offensively. We saw DJ not really being able to throw the ball down the field. There was a lot of question marks surrounding the wide receiving room. In the game against North Carolina, Cole Turner, who burst on the scene out of nowhere, he was in our final game of the season in game 13. That was the first game that we had a 100-yard receiver, and it was by someone who didn't start the entire season, which is kind of weird. We still bring back Bo Collins, Antonio Williams, Jake Brenningstool. I expect Cole Turner to get some significant playing time. Adam Randall as well. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. Another question mark coming into this game is going to be the receiving corps for North Carolina. Obviously, you lose Josh Downs, but I think Drake May is one of those quarterbacks who just elevates everybody who's around him. I don't think you have to have a superstar receiver for him to kind of produce and for North Carolina to have a chance of winning. This game is late in the season, I believe. I think it's like one of the last games of the year. November 18th. So I'm pretty sure that's like at minimum game 10, game 11. So this game could very well decide who goes to the ACC title game, honestly, depending on the Clemson-Florida State game. North Carolina may be, one-loss team or even undefeated at this point. Those of you guys who watch my North Carolina or our North Carolina preview and saw my prediction, I have North Carolina doing pretty good this year, but we'll just have to see. But, Dad, what is your take on this game and this matchup?
Yeah, just a couple things real quick. Drake May did run a touchdown. North Carolina actually went up 7-0. He had a 3-yard rush. If you've seen this again, I think Steven talked about it, 39-10. So Drake May did run one. Josh Downs also had 100 yards. Cole Turner had a 68-yard reception, which led to his 100. So he actually only had 3 receptions to go over 100. I think this is going to be a battle. I think Drake May is going to, and I mentioned this multiple times throughout this series with multiple games. I think Drake May is going to want to put a better showing on what is probably the best defense he's going to face, especially as he gets ready for the NFL draft. If he's trying to get into that, I think general conversation right now is him and Caleb Williams 1-2, somewhere along those lines. If he wants to get in the conversation to be the number 1 pick, I think this is one of the games that he really needs to show up in, because I think that probably calls into question his ability at the NFL level. The fact that, again, against the best defense that he faced last year, he did not have a great game. Not horrible, right? Almost 270 yards. But again, the 2 interceptions, as you mentioned, and only being able to put up 10 points. The fact that they lose Josh Downs, who had such a big game, is very concerning for me. We'll see what Antoine Green can do in that lead wide receiver position. Not much really to say about Clemson. We know what they are. I honestly expect to see a lot more Will Shipley. Will Shipley in this game last year only had 18 yards rushing. Did not have a great game. Did have a touchdown. But I think Will Shipley is going to be monumental to the offense this year. I think he is going to be a true bell cow. He's going to be the star of the offense. No knock to Cade. I think Cade is going to play well, but I think what they're really going to try to do is ride Will Shipley. So I suspect that Will Shipley is going to have much more of an impact than 18 yards and one touchdown in the game this year. Like Steven, I'm going to pick Clemson. I think Clemson just has the better all-around team. I do think Drake May is probably the better quarterback, but we really don't know. And I'm not trying to disrespect Drake, but Cade may be that guy. And I think with a full year, full offseason, where he's taken first team reps the whole offseason, we're really going to see what this guy is. We're really going to see what Cade is and where he stacks up with ACC quarterbacks. But I like the weapons around him. I like that Clemson defense more. Really, I have as a fan, and I'm not a Clemson fan. Obviously, my son is. I have concerns about the offense. I have big concerns about the offense outside of Will Shipley, especially the passing game. I don't have concerns about the defense. I think their defense is going to come to play. I think this is what Dabo does. He's going to have a top defense, probably the best defense in the ACC, one of the top defenses in the nation. So I have no concerns about their ability to stop people. What I have concerns with is their ability to score. I think what that's going to come down to is what is and who is Cade, and really can Will Shipley just dominate the running game, kind of taking some pressure off Cade. So this is going to be a heck of a game. But like I said, I have Clemson winning.
Yeah, I have Clemson winning as well. My final score prediction is going to be 38-28. Then they win by 10. I think it's obviously a closer game than it was last year. But I do think Clemson's offense takes a step forward this season. No excuse. I'm not giving an excuse, but I mean, when you look at the type of plays they were running last year with DJ, there was a game, I forget what game it was, but he had like 27 pass attempts and only 3 of them were farther than 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, which is obviously not going to cut it. Clemson has always been known to take those shots down the field with their explosive wide receivers. Obviously, the last year or two, we haven't had that go-to receiver. So that's 50% of the battle is having the quarterback and having a guy to throw to. So I think this year with Antonio Williams having a breakout season last year as a true freshman, you bring Bo Collins back, who I think is going to have a breakout year as well. But after that, it kind of drops off. Obviously, you have Adam Randall. I don't know if I'm really a firm believer in Adam Randall just yet. We have to see more from him. And then Cole Turner, obviously, this was his lone big game, the 100-yard game. He's actually the brother of Nolan Turner. He's the guy who picked off Ohio State in the playoff. But he's his little brother, I believe. But I don't know. We just have to see how it works out as far as depth at the wide receiver position. I think Antonio Williams and Bo Collins are really good receivers. But after that, it kind of drops off, and we have to see more from the rest of the wide receiver room. But I have it 38-28.
Yeah, I'm going to go 35-21. I think Drake's going to have a better game, right? I suspect of those 3 touchdowns that I'm giving North Carolina, he's going to have 2. I suspect that he's going to go over 300 yards. He's going to be able to move the ball a little bit, but I also suspect that he's going to have a couple turnovers. So I'm going to go 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a 300-yard game, but I don't think they're going to get much on the ground, especially with that Clemson linebacking core that we've talked about a number of times here. So I think they're going to shut down the run. I think Drake is going to be able to get some things in the passing game. But I think the turnovers, Clemson is going to play ball control. I think Will Shipley's going to have a big game. I got him going about 120, maybe 2 touchdowns. And I think this is going to be a physical game that Clemson is able to win in the trenches with that run game. And like I said, that front 7.
Yeah, so that is our preview of the Clemson, North Carolina game. Those of you guys who stuck around with us this far, thank you so much. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Do you have trivia today or no?
I have one.
Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, you got trivia then. Go ahead.
All right.
Before we head out.
We're going to do teams, players, and college.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. We're going to start easy. Let's start Chris Godwin.
Penn State.
Okay. Marvin Jones Jr.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Did he go to Missouri?
No. West Coast school.
Did he go to Cal?
He went to Cal.
I knew it was a yellow school. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
That's pretty good. Gus Edwards.
The running back?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know where he went. Is it SEC?
No, Big Ten.
It can't be Penn State.
No, not.
Did he go to Michigan?
No.
Minnesota?
No.
Where'd he go?
Rutgers.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
All right. Tremaine Edmonds.
Virginia Tech.
Okay.
All right, 3 for 4.
3 for 4, yeah.
3 for 4 is not bad. And that Rutgers one was kind of tough. But let us know in the description. I mean, I'm sorry, not the description. Let us know in the comment section how you guys did on the trivia. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.